if you are going down this path of mercilessly targeting trans people. You shouldn't be doing that anyway on a level of basic decency.
Do I regret anything? No.
Disability, transgender issues, fat shaming, that kind of thing that you have been accused of.
Yeah.
It's almost like you haven't changed in parallel with the times. You've almost kind of doubled down on those issues. It's become almost more important for you.
That's probably true, but that's because I think I'm right.
Now, the left's worst so-called comedian pin-up, Nish Kumar, is in a fresh new meltdown over his arch-nemesis Ricky Gervais, as the failed comic turned deranged political activist is still whining on about the trans issue. Kumar recently branded Gervais as a fucking dick over his trans jokes. He had previously claimed Gervais's comedy was like reheating Bernard Manning and would be at home at a Trump rally. Now, in a new interview with the Independent newspaper, Kumar, who I think is one of the least funny, biggest losers in the UK, took aim at his comedic adversary once again. Despite admitting he was aware that many people in my life wish I was less willing to slag off my co-workers, Kumar let rip. He explained that to him, social cohesion and the safety of minority groups mattered more than whether or not Ricky Gervais likes me. He didn't stop there, as Mr. Kumar even went as far to suggest that Gervais's brand of comedy and jokes about the trans community was akin to the racism his family faced in the 1970s. He said, when my family first moved to this country, we were the target of those comedians. I don't see a lot of difference between the racist and hostile jokes directed at my family by comedians in the 70s and the targeting of the trans community now. If you come from any sort of minority, marginalized background, we've all got to have each other's back. Prejudice is a contagion. I have the self-awareness to know I'm not necessarily right, but it boils my blood. I really don't know what Gervais's problem is with the trans community, but I'm now sort of past caring. Well, that's a lie. He really isn't past caring, because just this week he has been bleating on about transgender policing on his Flop Hard Left podcast, Pod Save the UK, while again taking subtle digs towards Gervais. Watch.
Gender policing doesn't exist in a silo. It's not just going to be about gender. It's going to be about race. You know, it's going to be people of colour, in particular black people, who are targeted more for their perceived gender expressions and femininities and masculinities. You know, we only have to look to like the Olympics and the sports to see how that happens, and you know, gender policing, racialized gender policing in action. We're going to see more of that.
If they come for one of us, they're coming for all of us. So, I would urge cisgendered people from any other minority, and I would also, urge everyone who is rightly focused on delivering equality for women in this country to consider who you might be aligning yourself with if you are going down this path of mercilessly targeting trans people. You shouldn't be doing that anyway on a level of basic decency. But you are also aligning yourself with some people that may not have your best interests at heart.
But the great thing about Gervais, who is a truly hilarious man, I love him, I don't know about you, I love him, is that he doesn't give a shit. He does not give a damn about appeasing the likes of Kumar, as he proved while speaking to the BBC when they tried to suggest he was some kind of dinosaur.
Do I regret anything? No. Would I do things differently now? Probably. You'd have to be specific, but
well, I mean, your jokes about
time.
Disability, transgender issues, fat shaming, that kind of thing that you have been accused of.
Yeah.
It's almost like you haven't changed in parallel with the times. You've almost kind of doubled down on those issues. It's become almost more important for you.
That's probably true, but that's because I think I'm right.
You're right in what way?
Well,
that you have a right to talk about those things.
Well, yeah, I have a right to those things, and there's jokes that I certainly stand by, and I can't look back and go, oh, sorry about that. I said that. I was only 50, but as you do get more progressive, maybe, and milder and changed, what usually happens is the things you used to do look worse. What I do is I try and get more offensive, so when I look back, I go, oh, wasn't I kind when I was 45? That's a joke.
It's so good. He doesn't give a damn. But Nish Kumar isn't the only so-called comedian who seems to focus less of their energy telling jokes than they do lecturing the British public on their hard left brand of politics. Yes, Lenny Henry has opened his mouth again, wailing not about, Henry Novak, not about the violence being inflicted on the native population, but no, wailing about some sort of invisible far right. He has declared that racism and the rise of the far right remain still at large ahead of his first nationwide stand-up tour in more than 15 years. Honestly, if you buy me a ticket to that show, you know how to punish me. Speaking to the Sunday Times about the themes underpinning his new show, which shares its name with the issues he believes persist in society, he said the reason the show is called Still at Large isn't only because I'm still at large, but because things I used to talk about in the 80s are still at large now, like racism, the rise of the far right, the tumult we're in as a world at the moment. These are the things we have to deal with, and I think it's all right to talk about these things because I'm 67, so I'm allowed. Well, in response, Lauren the Insider said, anyone else want a refund for the red-nosed T-shirts they brought growing up? I do. Lenny Henry is not only deluded, but his dangerous radical left rhetoric is exactly the kind of toxicity that means Henry Novak is now 6 feet underground. To the superstar panel, Howard Cox, Emma Dunwell, he speaks freely, and George Gilbert, social media sensation. George, it's quite depressing, isn't it, to see left-wing comedians obsessed with these issues that are completely out of touch with where the country is at.
I was going to say, it's unusual for Lenny Henry to talk about racism. Who saw that coming? But the thing is, Nish Kumar and Ricky Gervais.
That's funnier than any joke he's made in the last 30 years.
Ricky Gervais and any comedian worth their salt will take the mick out of any group, any gender, any race, any religion, because it's about having a laugh and loosening up a bit. And I went to a Ricky Gervais show last year in November. Brilliant, loved it. He's my favourite comedian. And there were jokes in there about white men. And you just laugh about it. But you don't hear Nish Kumar having a problem with that because he's jumping on a bandwagon and it's all about getting the next TV gig. Just like all these celebrities, they're willing to sell their soul just to try and get their face on telly. And it's embarrassing. It's ridiculous.
Emma Dunwell, what did you make of Nish Kumar sort of deciding that, like, this trans issue and Ricky Gervais saying that a woman is a woman is still the most important issue in the world today? It's like, we've moved on. We are totally over this. Anyone who thinks that trans is a real thing is a nutter. And we've just all moved on, okay?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely ridiculous. There is nothing sadder than an easily offended comedian. That is just about the saddest thing that you could possibly get. And also, being as someone, not me, but Nish Kumar, as someone in the comedian community, to try and go after Ricky Gervais is like someone in the rap community trying to go after Eminem or Dr. Dre. That's not going to work out very well for you. Ricky Gervais, this is the man. I mean, I've been watching him since I can remember, since I probably should have been allowed. I grew up on the Ricky Gervais show. If anyone wants to search up on YouTube after this, Learning English with Ricky Gervais and Carl Pilkington, it's the funniest thing you'll ever watch, I promise you. But it's just, this is the man who literally made a show called Afterlight and called a little ginger kid a tubby cunt. You are not going to touch this man. He doesn't care what you think.
No, very, very good point. Howard Cox, do you agree with Nish Kumar or Ricky Gervais?
Well, what do you think I'm going to say, Dan? For God's sake, these two, Henry and Kumar, are both products of the woke BBC, the British Bashing Corporation.
Yes, but so is Ricky Gervais. And he came out the other side, you see. So it is possible.
That's where I was going. It's a shame he actually saw through that shit and has come through it. Now, Ricky Gervais I have to say, I don't say this about many people, but I regard him up there with the people of my past, people like Tommy Cooper, Frankie Howard, Morecambe and Wise. I love his sense of humour, and I know he's untouchable. And Emma's quite right. He's totally untouchable. Don't take him on. You're going to be smashed to smithereens.
Yes, you are. You are indeed. Look, do stand by, you three, because we're about to reveal the worst Briton in the world today. But first, so much feedback coming in about the horrible news stories that we have seen over the past 24 hours. But first, we've partnered with Gundry MD to share this information with you. Would you believe me if I told you inside your pantry right now is one of the healthiest foods on the planet? Yep, it's true. And it's not some weird trendy superfood. Spoiler alert, it's olive oil. You're probably used to cooking with it, but there are countless ways to use olive oil to help yourself look and feel younger. For example, olive oil is a natural way to help you achieve a more youthful appearance. Besides helping you look younger on the outside, it's a fantastic tool for your insides as well. According to Dr. Stephen Gundry, a famous cardiothoracic surgeon, nutrition expert, and health advocate, you should get as much high-quality olive oil into your daily routine as possible, whether it's taking a shot of it daily or keeping a bottle of it in your bathroom medicine cabinet. But what kind of olive oil is best for your health? Well, any olive oil can give you some benefits, but if you're looking to get the best results, it matters a lot which one you pick. The olive oil industry is huge, right? You can tell that by the number of olive oil brands you see at the grocery store, and you can bet they're not all made with the consumer in mind. Many brands may even cut corners one way or another to increase profits. When Dr. Gundry came to that realization, he was appalled. But some olive oils are so powerful it may only take a few tablespoons a week to see these incredible health benefits. So how can you tell between an olive oil that can be a health booster and which one isn't up to par? In an effort to answer that question, Dr. Gundry has decided to take a stand and release his personal research and findings. The video has gone viral since its release, and it's important you see it so you can start benefiting immediately. You can watch the video right now by going to getolive1.com/outspoken or by clicking the link in the description box below. That's getolive1.com/outspoken or just click on the link in the description box below. People who have taken his advice have shared their results with him, saying the olive oil they bought after learning his simple rules have helped change their lives. So make sure you go to getolive1.com/outspoken or click on the link in the description box below this video. But now, back to the show. Marty McDowell says Sinn Féin wants illegals in, but Brits out. Sinn Féin have lost most Catholic votes. Mikey J3M2R says the migrants will be running for the boats if Belfast people gather tonight. Mega Johnson 1984 says Enoch, I presume he's referring to Enoch Powell, is buried just around the corner from me. I can hear him calling from the grave. Alex Marmon 619 has just sent a super chat. Nish Kumar is about as funny as Piles. I put him in the same bracket as Rosie Jones and Lenny Henry. Insulting to put him in the same breath as Gervais. Look, I do actually agree with you, Mum, and I wasn't doing that, but thank you for your super chat. Dave Atkin says net migration is down means nothing as English people are leaving. Immigration needs to stop completely. Net figures are irrelevant. Bear North says, our glorious country has been hijacked by weak-minded simpletons. It's an absolute joke. Close the bloody gates. It's what the British people want and have asked for in multiple general elections. Mill Dot says, Rupert Lowe for Prime Minister today. Queen Vic 8 says, don't unpack, you're going back. Join Restore Britain. And John Broadbent 1609, Starmer is soaked in the blood of British citizens massacred on the streets of Britain. He is incapable. To protect British citizens, we need a leader, not a liar. Okay, I'm going to remind you of your nominees for the worst Briton in the world today. And one of them is Nish Kumar, who Emma Dunwell nominated for still crying about Ricky Gervais's trans jokes. Howard Cox nominated Mad Miliband, who says he fails to criticize the rise of energy-sapping AI data centers that he knows will paradoxically scupper his nut zero fantasy. Well, Howard said net zero, but you know I say nut zero, which he is happy will bankrupt us all. And George Gilbert has gone for Lewis Hamilton. And he says in a viral clip from an interview as his, he gave the mother of all virtue signals by calling for wealth equality. Yet does he fail to realise that his partner Kim Kardashian is a billionaire herself, valued at $2 billion. He's said to be worth $500 million. This pretentious hypocrisy is the last thing we want to hear from a poxy car driver. Can somebody tell him to twaddle off back to his Monaco mansion where he avoids paying UK taxes, please? Oh yes, George, I loved that. A very quick but personal message from me to you to let you know that the best way you can support Dan Wootton Outspoken is to subscribe to my Substack at www.outspoken.live. Substack is a free speech platform that protects me from big tech cancellation and lawfare. Paid annual or monthly subscribers get an extra hour of content with the Royal Uncancelled After Show available every weekday with no advertising whatsoever. You can also message me direct on there. That's www.outspoken.live. Okay, in third position with 18% of the vote, it's Emma Dunwell and Nish Kumar. You were robbed, Emma. The runner-up with 28% of the vote, Lewis Hamilton. But the winner of today's Union Jackass with 54% of your vote, it is Howard Cox's choice, Ed Miliband. George Gilbert, on a similar celebrity note, you want to choose our greatest Briton today. Who have you gone for?
I've gone for Harry Kane, and even though he hasn't done anything noteworthy in the last 24 hours or so, I think he's just such a great guy. What a sportsman, and what a real role model for young children to look up to. He's smashing it in Germany. He's the most professional footballer you'll ever see in a current crop of Lewis Hamilton type sports figures. He's bloody good at what he does as well, and he's very polite, well-spoken, respectful. What a guy. Bring it home for us, Harry. We love you.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. I really like him too. I think there's quite a great contrast between your two choices. You know, if you compare Harry Kane to Lewis Hamilton, I think we all know which sportsman we would rather back.
And the World Cup begins this week. So all fingers crossed,
Go England
please.
and Scotland. Go England and Scotland.
Are you New Zealand or Britain?
No, I am always England when it comes to football, but I do have a Scottish fiance, so I will also be watching the Scottish games. So I'm not one of those Englishmen who hates the Scots, if you see what I mean. Because as I say, I'm going to marry a Scot. So yeah.
I don't mind the Scots, but actually they hate us. So
they hate us. They desperately want England to lose. They desperately want England to. Anyway, we're not going there. We are not going there because we need a bit of union. Okay, we need a bit of union tonight after all of the news this week. But what a fabulous superstar panel to get us through today. George Gilbert, he is a social media sensation. You can, of course, follow him on YouTube and X. Emma Dunwell, you know how much I love her reporting at E Speaks Freely. Emma, you've also got your new magazine out, don't you?
Oh my gosh, yes, thank you so much for asking. I recently not long got back from Cumbria, from the Stand of the Light Festival, where we just launched issue 2. So issue 2...
And where can people get it?
Oh, you can go on espeaksfreely.com and you can order it right now. I'm also working on much more merch to bring on the shop soon. So yeah, you can go and order issue 2 now.
And Howard Cox, the head of Fair Fuel UK, you have been working, Howard, to reunite the right, which is like the hardest job in the world, isn't it?
Yeah, I it's impossible. I mean, I think, as you know, I produced a poll recently which showed that, that something like 80 or 90% people want to unite the right. But when you ask them again, can it happen? 80 to 90% said no.
Well, at least we're honest. At least we're honest. But look, you're all great patriots, and I guess you give us hope that we can be united in some way. So thank you so much for being back on Outspoken on this very difficult day. Dan Wotton Outspoken is your no spin, no bias, no censorship outlet for independent news. We have no big tech backing or billionaires pulling my strings, but that does mean I need your support. So please hit subscribe on YouTube, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe to Dan Wotton Outspoken on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It's totally free, but allow